A little windy out here today. I went to use this guy and it just keeps blowing over. So just lay it down. I've got you in my old like single tripod with just the feet at the bottom, and then I slipped an old brake rotor over the top as a weight. So you ain't going nowhere. And good comment there, because we're doing brakes. In fact, we're doing brakes all the way around. All right, let's see if this thing fires up. It's been a couple of days, and we haven't had a problem starting it so far, but again, we've only started a few times. Glow plugs already turned off. Fired right up, and I had adjusted mechanically the idler a little bit, and it's definitely an improvement. Although it is maybe 10 degrees warmer than last time, I don't think that matters that much. This is good. Much better. Last time it was like at probably 400 RPM. This time it fired right up, went to 500. Or just barely under. Parking brake off. Shaking like crazy. The hood just all right, did I go forward enough for the lift? No, we need a couple more feet. How's that? Oh, much better. I could go forward another 6 inches or so, ought to do it. Maybe. Yes, lift points are all on there. Oh my heavens. You're zoomed so far in you can't see nothing. Why is it not letting me go wider? Let me see if I can fix this. All right. There we go. Vevor lift. My sister just got here. She's wanting to use it for the truck. And I'm like, but I'm using it. She's like, oh, okay, I got an excuse to go back to my place and do chainsaw work. I think she prefers chainsaw work to turning wrenches. I don't know. Do either. Am I? Almost. It's got nice lift points, so try to get on them. It doesn't have one of those skinny rails down the side to hook onto. It actually has like nice round bumpers to hook onto. Ooh. I think we're saying that's good enough. Yeah, I knew it had a low ride, but I hadn't really like measured it or anything. This thing's just barely higher than the Mustang. All right, up and away. Oh, let's bust these lugs first before I get it up off the ground. Usually, about half the time at least, I forget to. And then I got to put it back down. By the way, I did not...
Where's number one? She should be like...
She's doing college work. It is. It actually is a nice excuse. Well, I knew about it when I bought it. Or when we bought it. She bought it. She paid me back. She paid you back 500. She needs to put another 500 back in the envelope. Then she'll be paid up with you. I guess you could say she's put this on payments. 500 to you and 200 to me the same day, and now she just owes you 500.
I wonder if that Mustang. I brought it over here, didn't I? That Mustang emblem thing, the horse.
Oh, well, we have the hood ornament.
Oh, okay.
The base just broke off, so I'll see if I'll probably just buy a new one. Yeah. They ain't cheap though.
Oh no!
I was a little surprised. It was like $30 or something, or 40.
You know, the Trailblazer lost its emblem. And I was like, oh, I'll just go to get a replacement. They wanted like $70. I'm like, it's not that important.
Yeah, and it's not on this one either, except when I'm looking down the line here, I mean, it's got barely a ding there. You can't hardly see. It's got like that and a little bit on that. It's not bad.
This side, it almost looks like it got punched in and they tried to...
No, the ball joint failed while driving.
Serious?
So it shoved the whole control arm up.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's why you do some maintenance. So you can see it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, they brought this to the dealership for maintenance.
What?
Taffel Mercedes. They were dealership people, but I was looking at some of the receipts that they still had with the car, and some of the recommended services they declined, which I would probably do too if I'm like, no, it doesn't need that. Doesn't need that. But anyway. Yeah, the paint on the wheels is failing in some spots. Whoa, this is a different size. Ha! Whoa, the lug nuts on this side are different. Yeah, that's weird. The lug nuts are a different size on this side than that side. All right, this is a 17. All right, everything's loosened. Already found a minor issue there. I bought little Mercedes valve stem covers. It's got a little Mercedes thing on the side. Yeah. And it looks like a stack of 4 tires. Little minis. Cute junk, you know. Like, oh, it's only $10. Let's buy it.
Yeah, I've had the purple ones for the Trailblazer in my little thing, and I'm like, yeah, no.
You're not putting them on?
I'm not buying it.
Oh. Now, I was expecting this to be a heavy car.
Yeah.
But
it looks like a solid heavy car.
But I looked it up, and it's like a 3,400-pound car.
Oh, that's standard for
yeah, it's just a standard mid-size car. Yeah. All right, the safety clicks, I think I heard all the way around. And normally I'd only go to the first click.
Transmission work. But
the transmission work has me tempted. You know what? Sometimes you don't want to be further up. I think this is...
Well, if you're on the creeper, that adds, what, 4 inches?
No, that was a low creep. I'm only up off the ground like 2 inches on that. So I might just try it here. You know.
Slide under it and see how it feels. Then you'll know.
Well, I just don't think it'll even go that high because this is such a low car. Let's just see if it even goes to the next one. Oh, did you grease them?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I asked her that she was using it last time. I said, hey, would you mind greasing it? Are those in?
Yes, and yes.
Whew. Just barely, huh? Now we're going to lower it back onto the safety latch thingamajigs. And we're good. All right.
You didn't even use the rubber blocks.
Nope. Because the car has, instead of rails down the side, it has little round rubber feet. Okay. Which is kind of neat. We lost even a quart. And this thing takes almost 8 quarts. So that's a big savings there on fluid. Fantastic. And now it's just a brake job. So let's get you set back up. I'm going to do one front and one rear, and the other side is the same, so you get the gist. It is windy, so we're going to put our put our weight back on here. Pop it back in. And now we should be ready to go again. All right, this side was number 18. That was working well. The other side is the 17. What? Listen, this is my first time ever working on a Mercedes. I don't know if I had a Volkswagen for like 6 months. I don't think I ever even took the wheels off of that. So is this normal for a German car to, it doesn't have lug nuts, it has lug bolts. That's cool. Different. Yeah, this is acting very slow. There we go. Come on. There you go. Okay. So this looks kind of normal-ish to me. Usually I work on front drive. Well, I think every vehicle we have has front drive wheels. Even the truck is four-wheel drive. So this is the only car we have now that doesn't have a CV axle up here. So that's kind of nice, honestly. But we'll have to deal with the axles in the back. This, did he just service this too? He's got like a little bit of grease around here. That looks fresh-ish. The rotors don't look too bad, but they're slightly grooved. Again, not bad. Slightly grooved. And it's got that lip right here. So you know it's been on here a while. It's been wearing for a while. I'm going to go ahead and replace them. It got cold. The clouds. Whew. He's got a new and or recent, at least, inner tie rod end. I noticed that when I was looking. I was like, "Ooh, you got new parts on there for me." And it's got a grease zerk on it. This side doesn't, but that side does. So that's nice. Anytime you got a grease zerk, that's a good thing. No zerk on the ball joint. So when that goes, it goes, you know. But, I mean, even the shock here doesn't look bad. Yeah, it's first time in here. You just got to drink it all in, see how the things are laid out. The pads don't look bad, at least on this side. So the rotor doesn't look bad. The pad doesn't look bad. The brakes are squishy as all get out. There's got to be air in the line. Maybe. I mean, that's the first thing that you think of, right? If it's that squishy, and you can build pressure by quick pump, 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 it builds up. So I'm thinking they need to be bled. Oh, this wire right here. This wire right here looks to me like it's completely pinched off. Might not even have any copper touching. I don't know. So we'll see about that. That's some kind of a sensor, I guess. Is that even like attached properly? I don't know. Although I think I saw something like that in the kit. How are the wheel bearings? Seem fine. A little rubbing on the pad, maybe a little out of balance. What are you? Caliper pin. Looks like a number 13. Little loose, but not by much. Probably just wear. I don't know. Should we Should we try a number 12? Just to verify that it's not. That looks too small. Yeah, that's too small. Oh, that was the 10. How did I get the wrong? All right, 12. Nope. Either that or it is this one and it's beat up and it won't go over it. But we will use a 13. And here it is. This is a half drive though. And I won't be able to get that in there because the brake line's in the way. So how about we go to, I don't know, go old school with a wrench, huh? What do you think? So we can, maybe. No, I don't think it's a 13. Oh, it is. It is. Okay. So that one's loose. That one's loose. And then the caliper bolts themselves, what size are you? Are we a 17? Like the other side of the car, lug nuts. Nope. Are we an 18 like this side of the car, lug nuts? It's got to be. You would think. Oh. The shock's in the way. I can't get in there, so we'll have to go again with a wrench. It's okay. Dust shields in the way. That seems like a good idea. Good place for that. And I don't think it's an 18. Nope, not an 18. Do I have a 19 wrench? I don't think so. I've got pretty much everything. Yeah, it's a 19. All right. Oh, always juice it first if you can. Got away with it on those. And I'm sure I would have there too, but it just helps. If you can make things easier, make things easier. Why not? I'm going to go hit the other side. Well, I'm going to do the fronts first. I'm going to do both fronts first. So my mind's in the right place. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get that off of there. 17 right here. Is that Taylor Swift? What channel am I on? What station is this? I just hit seek. Let's do that again. No. No. Yes. Yeah, I don't mind that. Ooh, some doors. Man, I remember the first... I mean, I don't remember, but I remember that when I first heard the Doors, when I was, I guess, early teens. It was the first time I knew, hey, these are the Doors. I was just... I might use the word smitten. I was just, I love this music. Same story on this side. Same story. Let me get some juice on it, and I'll come right back over there. I'm not abandoning you. Abandoning. There we go. Now, I know you're probably not going to believe this, but these brake lines look a little old. I'm just going to moisturize. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to put a little bit of WD on these as a moisturizer, like a preservative. I suppose it'd be better if I was using some silicone spray or belt dressing or something. But you know what? WD-40 is just amazing. So I'm sure it'll be better than nothing. See, this little guy might fit because it's got a tapered end because it's a 3/8 drive. Might slip past there for me, past that shock. Especially a little extension maybe. Like that. And then you're just questioning whether your ratchet will hold up to the punishment. So let's get an adapter to go from the 3/8 to a half, and then I can get something on it maybe. A little breaker. Alright, there's our adapter. And let's go with the adjustable breaker bar. I like this little guy. I've used it probably more than I thought I would. Okay, alright. We got it turned on both sides enough to get leverage, and I had my adjustable out all the way. And on the ground, pulling with almost probably close to everything I got. And we finally got her to come loose. So we've got the 4 loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to my 3/8 ratchet just so I can not have to move it every time, you know. And before, see, that's loose. And then our other caliper bolt right there is barely loose. But before I take the calipers off, I'm going to make sure that these are good and loose. I think I loosened this one already, but I want to make sure that both are loose on both sides. And this was a 13, yeah. All right, so that one's already loose. I had already loosened the top as well. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Shorten you back up. Come on. Yeah, I think. Oh, there it goes. It's. Well, it's loose, but see this side. No, that whole thing's turning. So I need to put a wrench. Here's a 13. You put a wrench here, maybe, and of course they're going to use a different size because I guess if you only have one tool set, that makes a reasonable thought. So I think that's probably a 14. That would make sense, but it's not. Is it a 15? Yes. All right, so they're moving freely from each other on the bottom. And how about the top? Yes. So the caliper pins are loose, which is great. So now we can go ahead and pull the caliper off. We're going to be very careful because these lines are kind of old and look like they're on their way to be dry rotted and bad. So we're going to probably hang this over here on the tie rod, maybe. Let's do that. Ratchet. I always get confused, like, what should I do first? Should I replace? No, I should get the new rotor on and then put the new pads on. I don't know. I'll have to push that piston in too, most likely, right? Let's just take it off. Take it off, see what we got. And what I usually do, if it reaches, is just throw a bucket under here to hold the caliper. But this hose line is short and up here, so it won't reach. So I might try to hang it off the shock, maybe. So I need something to hang it with. Let me grab a zip tie or something. So I'm going to put another one in here, and then I'm going to cinch this guy down because there's little tabs around the shock that'll hold that for me. And then I can bring something up, like maybe right here, and hold that for me. Let's try it. What? Good thing my head is attached. You saw me. I was looking for my ratchet. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is. I was looking at the copper strands in this wire. They're completely disconnected. So whatever that was supposed to do, it wasn't doing anything. I bought a set of brakes, and I think it comes with some kind of electric thing. Hopefully it's that, because that's no longer doing anything. And this connection, whatever it is, looks loose. I mean, I'm assuming it's for the computer to know what's going on with the brakes so that the anti-lock system can do what it needs to do. But I don't know. Oh, I didn't say yet in this video, I'm not a mechanic. Not a mechanic. I used to work on helicopters, but even there I wasn't really turning many wrenches. I was an airframe mechanic. Like Rosie the Riveter type, you know what I'm saying? Bucking rivets and maybe mixing up some fiberglass. Oh no. Oh, it was short and it looked like it was sheared off. I hope not. But that's awfully short. If that's sheared off, we're going to have issues. I'll have to be drilling that out, which is something I used to do as an airframe mechanic. If somebody had a stripped bolt or screw, they'd call me, or one of us. We had we had a whole squad of airframe mechanics. So I was one of, how many do we have? Like probably 7 or 8 worker bees plus a squad leader, team leader or 2. All right. I can't pull it out with the bolt because the shock's in the way. Can I get it off, it being the socket, off of the bolt without pulling the bolt? I'm sure I can with some difficulty. Almost there. There. And now we got it sitting. Now this one is decidedly different, but the end of it looks fine. So maybe it's just not going through as much. Doesn't need to be as deep, I guess. Can this come off now? Is that everything? On every other vehicle I've worked on, it's 2 bolts holding the brake caliper. Is this not the same? Glare. It's not even sunny right now, but I got glare. So there's this other bolt here, but does it go to the caliper? Yeah, it does. Are there 3? Or was one of those I pulled not the thing? Was this not the thing? I don't know. So what I did on the others is I tried to get a little better position. So for this one, it's going to be under here and pulling down. You know, all jerky like that. But it's loose, so that's good. So we'll be doing the same thing. Ouch. To the other side. But that side should be easier because I already loosened that, mistakenly thinking I had mistakenly loosened it. Now I know I would have needed to anyway. So that side will be a dream. A piece of cake. All right, so the little one goes in the middle. Remember that. And it's got a washer on it. The other 2 don't. So I don't know. There we go. Now remember, we need to have a zip tie ready to go. And I'm actually going to go ahead and lace that under. Oh, I already had one. Okay. Come on. Come on off there. Right? Maybe just a taparooski. What are we holding on to here? You can see we're loose. We're obviously not hooked. Oh, it's because of the lip here. Remember we talked about the lip. So I'm trying to slide it back, and those pads are saying no. So either we're going to have to force it over there and break those pads, which is no big deal, or what we can do is come on here and remove this piece, which would be just fine with me. Let's do that. Boy, if I had the car in the garage, it'd be out of the wind, wouldn't it? A little bit more comfortable, but I wanted the room. I opted for the space rather than the warmth, I guess, because it would be cramped in that garage. It's not really it's not really a working garage. It's not really, I guess, meant for that. This was a 15, wasn't it? Yep. So anyway, so yeah, when I work on cars, I like to do it on, just wait for a decent day and do it outside. So we're going to take these pins out. Bolts, pins, whatever you want to call them. That is short. Different design. It's okay. And then the bottom one. Same thing. Go on. Get on there. Oh, that's already loose. Nice. These boots are actually fairly flexible still. I guess if I had thought to, I probably would have pre-ordered new caliper boots. But these seem fine. So that's good. All right, so now I can slide this, basically the clamp part of it, off of the pads. And then look, all that is just going to fall away. Oh, this little electronic piece thing, I don't know what in the world that's supposed to do, but it's broken anyway. So there you go. And now we can take this and hang it up. We got all this electronic stuff. I gotta be careful. So we're gonna run this zip tie right through that bolt location and see if I can one-handed, sure, zip that, can I? I just need it a couple clicks. There. And that'll hold it right there for me and keep the tension off of my rubber brake line, because that's not suspect looking at all. All right, that's out of the way. Now right here where it is, I can push this piston back. That's interesting. That's different from what I'm used to seeing. But it should push back the same way. Let me go get a C-clamp and just shove that down. We also have this to pull off. So let me get, what does it take? Allen keys. Just the one. And actually it looks like the same size that I used for the transmission drain bolt. Also with the pads off, I can spin it, and that wheel bearing sounds really good. Basically, it sounds like nothing, which is what you want. So, is it the same size? It sure is. That's nice. Don't lose that. Yeah. If you can see that lip, it's worn down. It's probably past where you should be using it. Nice grooves. It probably would have worked fine. And I probably would have held off if it was still braking well, but I think there's air in those lines somewhere. All right. This looks good. I mean, nothing to complain about here at all. So let's get the clamp and then we'll bust open the new parts. We don't need no education. Golly, how long is this video taking? I'm gonna have to do so much editing. wonder what time it is. I don't even know what time it is, y'all. Like, how long? Has it been like 2 hours I've been at this and gotten essentially nothing done? I mean, at least we got one caliper off. So, got to open it up enough to get it around, and then you got to tighten it back to go on the base. I do have a different style that I actually bought, like designed for it. Let's see if that would work. I don't know. Might be for a different style. Or wait. Yeah. This should work. Let's try this. Just for poops and giggles. So this came with a little like brake kit from, I don't know if I got it at AutoZone or if I got it at, might have been Harbor Freight. But so you just put this in there, and then you push with it. Ooh, that might be too deep. I'm running out of room already. No. No, not for this size, I guess. Get back. I guess I could stick something down in there to fill that gap. I guess I could. Or a plate across there would work. I wonder if I could use a brake pad. One of these little brake pads. Just slap it across there, huh? What do you think? That should work. That should work. I like that better than using the giant C-clamp. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's what I've done for years now. So we're going to put this press against the brake pad and let that push against it for us. It's going. We're just, if you can see that at all, pushing that piston back in. Let me bring you around. You are not in a good spot to watch what I'm doing right at the moment. There. So here's the piston. I just put this push clamp, reverse clamp against the old brake pad, and I'm pushing on that to then push the piston in. All right, and there it is. It's bottomed out. All right, see that? Use for our old brake pads. And again, we're holding it with the zip tie, not dangling it off of our brake line. So now this is back. Now we can go get a new brake rotor, put it on, put the pads in, the caliper, and try to reassemble, and then worry about that broken electrical line. Packaged real nice. R1 Concept. Whoop. Trying to break them. Came with, oh nice, it came with the boots. I was just saying that I'd have to, no, it came with the boots. That's great. And new caliper pins. That's fantastic. And then whatever this is, brake sensor wire. Hopefully that's the piece that was broken. I think it is. Oh, that's great. What a great kit. This whole kit for all the way around the car was, I think it was just under 200. We've got new slide pins, brake hardware, and yeah, they even threw in a pair of gloves to work with. That's neat. All right, where's the rotor? Bottom of the box. Very well packaged. Okay. Are they labeled? Disc brake rotors replaces blasity blasity. Yep, the big ones go up front. That's obvious. Good. Is one... Now, I sprang for the drilled and slotted. So, let's see. Yes. Yes. L for left. R for right. Beautiful. B-A... Beautiful. That's fantastic. Well done. Okay. Probably zoomed in too close, but whatever. I'm pleased. I probably do need to back you back out. Yeah. Just crudely slide you back out. There. Okay. Of course, the wind's going to take this stuff, so let me go put it inside. Look at the shiny. That is nice. Ooh, that's cold. Brr. Let's... I should have a hole for my... No, is that it? No, we got these two to hold it. And it looks like... like that. And then this one goes right there. All right. There. Don't over torque that. No need. It's just to hold it there snug until you get your lug bolts in there. Oh, that's sharp. That is sharp. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. That's pushed back in. These smaller ones should be for the rears. I keep throwing it around. Oh, look at that packaging. It's like, okay, it's just a sleeve. Pretty sleeve. And are these the fronts? Are they indeed? They look the same. Let's see what these look like. It should be the rears coming in that smaller box. You certainly would think so. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, my heavens. So the rears on this car have really tiny brakes. Okay. So here's the fronts. And I hope sometimes they're like all the same. Inside and outside pad, both sides. I really like it when they're that way. So I don't have to figure out, like, especially if it all came off and just fell without me getting a good look. I really like it when they're... So they got a little rubber band around them, plus the plastic. Holding them together. Again, just a wee bit windy. Trying to stuff things places where they won't blow away. Like that box that just almost blew away. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to stare at it. And I always love to look at the thickness. You think you have a lot of pad left. And this still, but it was down at or just past 50% left, but it actually was still in fairly decent shape. And it was mated up with that old rotor. In fact, this is kind of neat. Check this out. The way it had worn into the rotor. Look at that. It like locks in. So that's why when I tried to pull it off, it didn't want to go. But see how that's worn, all the grooves on here match perfectly with the grooves on here. So there's nothing wrong with that. That would have still done a great job. And once I pumped the brakes, it did. But there's air in the lines. But we wanted to, let's just start fresh. New owners of the car. But it probably could have done with just bleeding the brakes. Anyway, so we're gonna look and see how these were. They were in here like so, just like that. And I don't see any other hardware. But it came with these. Maybe these are for the back, because the fronts, they just have this like backer plate, and the new ones likewise come with a backer plate. Wow, see how it's got the wear indicator? This one's through that. Anyway, so this should just slide in. Really hoping I can just slide these in. I do want to put a little brake grease in there, but this is acting like it's not the right size. There we go. You just gotta slide them in from this side. Let me clean that up a little bit though. A little sandpaper or even a file. Just a little bit. Sandpaper's fine. I'm gonna use this fine-ish file. And most of that's just brake dust caked in there. So I'm just gonna scrape it out. Make a little mess of my pants here. Just getting all that crud. Just get the crud out. Okay. That'll come out easy, I'm sure. So that'll go back on this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on right now. So I've got my 3, right? 3? No, 2. Where does this little bolt come from? It did not do what I thought it did. I do not know what in the world that does. But I'm just going to put it right back. That was a 19. I can get in there easier now. Didn't I have a ratchet with a 19? Yep. Got cold again. Sun went away. Come on back, son. Whoa. In there. And then I'm just going to give it a... Tighten that back down. All right. Here we go. We're going to put this back on here. And this really just makes it so much easier. Just put it back on here. It's basically a vise for you, so you can work. Well, you can't see perfect, but hopefully you get the main idea here. Back to the wrench that I threw away somewhere. Oh! I'm okay. I'm okay, I think. If I weren't okay, it would probably still be hurting more than it is. Never pull towards yourself. Never pull towards yourself like that. I'm pretty sure I'm not bleeding. Am I not bleeding? I'm not bleeding. Thank goodness I don't have thumbnails. My thumb, it came up and I actually punched myself with my thumb right here. The eyeballs get sore if you punch them. I mean, that it hit right here, right in between the eyebrow bone and the ball itself. So it hit the eyeball. Fortunately, I closed my eye. Ow. Back to it. Ow. Let's keep pulling the same way. No. You know better than to do things, and you do it anyway, just because. Because you get careless. And if you remember, that's the bolt that the head on it's actually rounded slightly, so that's what happened. It just rounded right off. Use a socket if you can. I can actually get the 1/2-inch drive socket on there, so I had no business. I didn't need to be using. I didn't need to be using that. I just need to find the. Does it look okay? It probably looks fine. I hope. It's fine. My wife hasn't left me yet because I'm stupid. I should be all right. There. All right, so we have our caliper bracket, I guess is what you would call it, back on. And now what we're going to do is we already cleaned up, kind of, sort of ish. You know what? Let me get a brake cleaner. We'll hit that. And if I really, really, really wanted to, now would be a good time before putting this back on to clean it up, hit it with some fresh black paint or silver or whatever you want. I'm not concerned with it right now, but I will hit it with brake cleaner. And man, it just cleaned it right off. That looks great. I think you can probably see that. Just completely clean. This stuff is amazing. Super good for the environment. You can actually get varieties that are better for the environment. This one, I think, is full strength. Yeah. So we're going to take our new one, and we have, I've got these left over from different jobs. Sometimes they'll come with brakes. I usually just use a tub of brake grease, but I've got these, so I'm going to use them up. And this is probably what you'd use if you just do a job every once in a while. I seem like I do brakes 2-3 times a year at least around here. And I'm going to put a little here where they slide, or I can put it directly, use less that way, put it directly on the ends where they're going to slide. Dab, 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 like that. And then on the back, it'll be pushing on this, but I usually like to put it on there directly. So what I'm going to do while I'm thinking about it, clean those surfaces off too. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be clear everywhere, just where they're going to be touching. So you can put some of the grease on there, and it's supposed to cut down on noise. Sure. So now I've got my pad. Let's see if it slides right in now. Can you? Can you slide right in for me? Are we dealing with manufacturer error? I have, like I said, I have. And I might just have to scrape off some of the paint just to get a little bit more room. That just seems ignorant. I am going to put a little right on here now. Help it slide in because it is tight. I'm going to try this side. So, can I? Goodness. That is tight. Well, I mean, you want it to be, right? But I don't know, man, that is very, very tight indeed. That's going to go until you're just past the lip with the pad. Wow, that's tight. Sheesh. I'm just looking at the old one. Which goes pretty easy. Let's seat this the rest of the way down. That is tight. We'll try it. All right, same thing on the other side. I'm going to use, again, generous on this. A lot of times I just put it on the ends, but I'm gonna lube up pretty good. I've got plenty of this stuff, and then I'll put a little on there too, on the ends. All right, it is what it is, folks. You know why? Because it can't be what it's not. So it is what it is. Can I even get it in? Yes. It's going. It's just tighter than... Now, this side's not as tight. So, as long as it can go after a few drives, it'll wear in, you know? As long as it can move. That is going to be tight. There. All right, so you got your pads on there. Way a lot more pad than we had. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. Pad than we had. So now, my knees are shot. I'm ready to take it down. To to take it down off of the zip tie, put it back over, and then we're going to work on figuring out the electrical lead, the electrical piece. And then finally, well, we'll go to the backs and then we'll bleed everything. Oh wow, this old wire cutter could use some WD too. This guy probably got left outside over a night and dewed on or something. Who knows? Occasionally, I try to be good with my tools, but sometimes you either forget or you know you left stuff out and you're like, forget it, it's not supposed to rain tonight. And either it does rain or it dews heavy, and it might as well have. So we're just going to cut that off. And we do have this thing here. That goes on there. So here's the new one. And it looks like it just pushes in on here. Like, I don't know why that would matter or do anything. But I'm glad it came with a new one because ours is broken. And it looks like it's just a push style. The new one just pushes in right here. The question is, how do I get the old one out? It's got some kind of a clamp style I've never seen before. But it looks like tabs. There we go. So there's little tabs you can push off. And then do I just yank it? Just yank it out. Awesome. And can I set this? Yeah, I can just set that right there and get my new one. I've never seen one of these. What does it even do? It says brake sensor wire. I don't know. It senses the flex here, I guess. I don't know. What's the other side look like? Does it go on this one or this one? Let's go see. The other side's broken too. Wow. All right, it goes on the inner. It goes on the inner brake pad like this. It just clicks in like that. But the other side was broken as well. Like my skin right there, just barely, where I tried to cut my finger off. Y'all saw it. All right, I'm gonna hit this. A little bit of brake cleaner there too. If it's electrical, that lead there needs to be clean to do anything anyway. Although it wasn't doing anything. I didn't see Did I see a check engine light on or any? I don't think I saw a brake light on. All right, so I'm going to leave that just for a second, put this on, and then we can worry about hooking it up. Also, as I said, I like to put where it's actually going to touch, not just random. So I'm going to put a little grease. Oh gosh, that's enough to go all the way around. Sure. Just grease it up. And then the same thing on this side. Plenty of grease. There. Oh, more than I needed. But it's out, so there. Nice and slick. And now we're going to want to push this through here. This sensor thing that I don't know what it does. And then hope that we got the caliper pushed back enough. The piston. We did. Look at that, sliding right on. Excellent. Adjust my knees for the 1000th time. And then we're going to... That feels good. Remember, it came with new boots. Let's do the right thing. We got it all off. Let's do the right thing here. That's actually holding really well by itself. We're going to pull these pins. Just pull them straight out. And we have new boots. I'm not saying damage these. We maybe keep these around. They're in good shape. And then what we're going to do, let me go get a rag. We're going to clean these off, re-grease them before putting them back in. Got some Queen going on now. Good playlist this afternoon. 97.5. Oh, that looks really good. That does look pretty good. So I just wipe it off and grab ourselves a new boot. And we'll use a new bolt too. We've got them. We're going to keep the old ones around. I've got a little flyaway kit I put all my old parts in, but we might as well put a new boot on and with a new bolt. And we're going to take some of this grease here. Is this the same kind I want to put in there though? All right, so here's my synthetic caliper, braking caliper grease. And you can just use this all over everything. Of course, it's kind of cold, so it's kind of hard, but that's all right. We're just going to slather some of this brake grease. Smells good. Right on that pin. And we could even take this brush and just kind of spin it around the inside of the boot. And which way did it go? There we go, that way. This one does go a certain way. And then we're going to go ahead and put it on. So slide that back in. That's it. And you can see how nice and easy that springs. There's probably some grease left in there. It's fine. Wait. Is this the type that I can pull like a sleeve out? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not, sometimes less is more. It was working fine. I'm going to put a little more on there. A little more of that grease. I did this on another video, so that's too much grease. It's not too much grease. I don't think you can put too much grease on. You can probably put too little, but I don't think you can put too much. Now this boot isn't wanting to go over that. Maybe I did put it on backwards. Did I? Maybe. Can it get on this one? Can I? Ah, got it on there. And this side looks better shaped to go there. So I think maybe I'd had it on backwards. Let's see if we can get it to push up over the lip. There it goes. Yes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I like that. Okay. So we're good there. What does that smell like? It reminds me of something. It reminds me of something very much not brake related. What am I thinking? Like it's triggering a memory. You know how smells do that? Like in the hardware department. Well, I mean, oh, you know how they make engineered woods? It smells like maybe like a resin or whatever, the glue that holds something like that together. That's what it's reminding me of, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one in. So here's our brand new caliper pin bolt, whatever. Get it lined up. Actually, I'm not going to force it because we're kind of twisted. So let's just hold off. Oh, we got a spider. Can't. It's a tiny one. You see that little guy right there? Tiny little guy. Little baby. Where'd you come from? Probably climbing around the car, I guess. All right, so let's do the other one. Just rip that out of there. It's still got plenty of flexibility. We could have rocked those again, but this kit came with it. I am impressed that it came with it. New bolt, new boot. Definitely more flexible than the old one. Not that the old ones were bad, but these are better. They're new. Oh, let's clean that old oily, greasy, whatever off. Make this pin look brand new. There. Slather that on there. And a little glob on the end, push that in there. And then as before, we're not going back for more. We're just kind of getting some of that off of there in the boot. And then the tapered end on these at least went towards the bolt head, and the bigger open end goes toward the caliper piece, thingamajig, whatever it's called. Work it around. Come on. Work around. My fingers are a little cold. If you're working in a warm climate and never work in a cold climate, good for you. Your fingers start to not want to cooperate. There. Still plenty on there. And then hopefully the first one went right around it, kind of on its own. Ouch. This needs just a little bit of persuasion. There. Good. Very good. Happy, happy, happy with that. All right, so now we're going to rotate it into position. If I can. Oh, my trash can. They emptied it, and now it's getting blown around by the wind. Go get it before before it gets blown into the road and somebody runs into it and then yells at me, "You hurt my car," or whatever. Kind of springy. I guess that would be a good thing, right? It's not like frozen. It wants to move. It's those springs. That's what it is. It's springy because of the springs. Who knew? All right, before I tighten those down, I'm going to see if I can get this plugged in. It looks like it's simple. It's got a brand new O-ring on it too, of course. And I'm not going to push on that back because I will wreck it. Can I use something like this, smaller? to push on both sides. See that? Maybe get it close, and then can we? There it goes. Yeah, it's in. That's fantastic. Okay, so now we've got this little curlicue out here that I'm wondering if it got caught, and that's what broke it on the other one. So we're gonna see. Is it supposed to be way out there? I don't know, but I know this one had something unfortunate happen to it. Let's just trust the engineers on this one. They made it curlicue, probably because they know what they're doing, ish. Are you gonna clip? You're a clip. You're supposed to clip. Do you need help? Exact. Oh, there it goes on one side, I think. Nope. What on earth? Yeah, just smash it. It's almost acting like it's not in all the way and not letting us down, but it's in all the way. I thought it was in all the way. It was not. Using this around it to push back. Now how about it? Oh, look at that. So easy. See, that's what the time where I'm lucky I didn't break it. Because sometimes you try to force things, especially these old plastic pieces. I'm actually quite surprised that I didn't break it. All right, both sides of the clip clipped. And see what the curlicue did there is it just keeps a low profile. I'm just worried it's going to catch on something, but I mean it's in there. All right, I'm not gonna argue about it. It went. It looks like it was meant to go that way. I'm happy. You know, I have one of those little rolly chairs. Why am I not using my rolly chair? I bought it for my knees. Because I got stuff sitting on it and then you don't see it, so you forget you have it. Is that anybody else? Okay, see, look. Oh, now I'm not bending my knees all the way. Okay. Are these new bolts the same size as the old caliper pin bolts? Let's see. By golly, they are. Going on nice and easy too. Okay, I hit. And now don't over torque these. You're just snug down. That's it. Same thing here. Snug. Done. But we're not. First of all, you know, this zip tie up here, I guess I could just leave it. It ain't hurting anything. Leave it there for next time, right? Sure. It ain't rubbing on anything there. Done. Okay, we got the other front done. We did the other side rear. I did that one first so that I knew what the heck I was doing because it was a different style than definitely different than I've ever done before. So let me grab my tools here. And I was careful not to disassemble this side until I finished that side so I could look at this. Passenger rear. I did the driver rear. And we're gonna use what I learned. I've never seen this kind of arrangement before, so that was interesting. Let's get some juice on it while I go get the rotor from in the garage. Snazzy. All right. So, and I've got my bucket. So we are going to actually just set it here on this side because it's nice and close. Oh, look at the... In case I forget to show you, I always love looking at well-worn brake pads. There's the new one. And there's... Wow, I mean, the backer's starting to detach. Not much left on that. They got their money's worth out of it for sure. So here's new ones, and we've got the new pins and strap on the back. If you've got a decent punch, grab you a decent punch. And what I'm going to do, I think, is go ahead and knock these out with it still mounted. On that side, I had it out, and I was just kind of holding it against the bucket. That worked, but this is the way to go, I think. Punch these out. All right. And then I think I just use this bitty screwdriver to push them the rest of the way. And then jiggle them out. There you go. And then I was trying to keep an eye on this, make sure I remembered which way it went, but it's actually not quite the same style as the new one. It looks a little different. Similar-ish, but definitely different style. But I'll show you once I get it on there, like why it needs to be a certain way and what its function actually is. And then we've got our two new pins, and this push-out clamp-in style that seemed to work just fine on that side. So now all we have to do is we can use this again. Just pull out. Right? No, we won't even try to pull it out of there because again you have this going on, this ring. So let's see if we can get those caliper bolts out yet. Number 17. Of course, when we're going this way, it's so much easier if you can hit down. But it is what it is. Don't pull it into your eye. Hey, that one wasn't over torqued so much as the ones up front seemed to be. Okay, that's loose at least. Snug still, but loose. Same thing, try not to hurt myself. Got it. Excellent. I was kind of worried that would be a pain, like both literally and figuratively. And I was also noticing, you come in here and you'll see stuff for the first time, and there's a little seepage here, and I think it's coming out of this shock. So we'll kind of probably expect that we'll need to replace the rear shocks. Maybe next year. We'll drive it for a while. And it seemed fine. But put that on our expected to have to do list. Also, these brake lines I mentioned up front, a little dry rot, they look old. Very, very old. So that'll probably be on our list of to do soonish. But as long as they work for now, we're going to keep rocking it. Maybe do those the same time as the shocks, you know. Just kind of plan ahead for that. Okay. So over there, I was just like, you know what? I can't think of any other way to do it. Just be gentle. This is not the thickest. I thought about doing here, but I'm like, I don't know. Just gently tap, and then it started to come. So I was like, all right. So just be gentle. Let me get it off of there. Bring over our bucket. And now we can pull our pads out of here. Or let them drop out that way. I don't really care. Whichever. Oh gosh, is that... There we go. It just says, I've been in here. I ain't going nowhere. Make me. Well, I'm trying to here. Of course, I got water on the top of this bucket. I didn't knock it off. Get. All right. And again, both of these you can see are same as the other side. All right, real quickly, I'm going to goodness, this is pretty filthy. So, scrape. Yeah, scrape that out just a little. And then I'm just cleaning up the surface where I'm going to put some grease on those pistons. Kind of hate to do this much with the brake cleaner. I don't know. I'd have to actually read if it's hard on the rubber boots there. But, I mean, you'd think they wouldn't make it brake cleaner that would hurt the brake boots there. Oh, we got a caterpillar. Well, I don't want to move him because then he pulls the hair out of him. He's not in a good spot. Not at all. Okay, so we've got that cleaned up. Next is to remove our rotor. And the other side was stubborn. I give it a little tap around the outside. So here we go. I'll turn the volume down for you on this. The brake shoes on the inside for the e-brake, I'm sure there's probably at least somewhat of a lip, and that was confirmed on the other side. So I'm gonna actually leave you a spot right here where you can hit, and let's see if I think over there I had to give myself some space to do that. I had to get on the ground to hit it from this side. And of course, this was kind of in the way. Here we go. Of course, over there, the wind wasn't blowing the dust into my eyes. There you go. Just a few decent wraps. And then the moment of truth where you look, the other side, nothing was broken inside. Plenty of brake dust and rust. And poop. I've got a cracked shoe, but I'm not panicking yet. Let me pull you over here. Cracked shoe. How do we look underneath? Better? Yeah. So we got one good shoe. We've got a cracked shoe there. So of course the first thing I think is, oh no, I'm gonna have to let's just look at it and think on it and see if we can not do that. First, clean it up. Clean those springs. All that hardware in there. Clean it off. I'm hoping / assuming these are, auto adjusting. Every time you apply that parking brake, it's supposed to keep adjusting away. So I'm looking at this. All right. Now, if I were a brake shop, I suppose I'd legally have to say, no, that's a cracked shoe. But remember, these are not our primary brakes. Those are our primary brakes in the rear. This is an emergency brake. It's a parking brake. Most of the places we go and park are level, despite living out in the hills. And what I'm doing, I'm just feeling, even though there's a crack on it, nothing is loose. The whole shoe, the pad part of it, is still bonded to the metal part, the metal backer. So it ain't going anywhere, is what I'm going to say. And this one's good. As long as this doesn't come loose, it shouldn't cause any problems. And as long as it's still bonded to the metal backing, I'm leaving it. And notice there's plenty of shoe left on that, the pad part. While I got it out, it looks like the brake cleaner's about dried. I'm going to WD-40. Don't worry, I'm not doing the pad part. I'm going to hit the springs just a little bit, maybe a little bit more than a little. just going to give it a little bit of oil, and say we just rebuilt the brakes back here. There. Job well done. So, cleaned out, inspected. I don't like that, but I don't hate it enough that I'm going to, pause the job, order parts for that, and figure that out. I just put my hand in this. It's freezing cold because I was dripping. I put it down literally right under where the brake cleaner was dripping on my glove. So that's going to take a minute to dry out. We are ready for our, you got a stud right there. Line that stud up. Right, sure. Put this back. Oh, also, I know I need to replace, that rear differential fluid. If you turn this side, I had to look it up. I don't know all this stuff, but if you turn this side forward and the other side turns backwards, you don't have a limited slip differential. So that informs what kind of fluid you're gonna use. So that's fine. We're ready to go ahead and put our caliper back on. If I can find my bolts right here. It's amazing. I love this bucket. If I can do that instead of stringing it up, I do like that. So we're going to put this back on. Oh, no, I'm not. I lied. I need to push those pistons back in first. So on the other side, or the front, I should say, I was able to use the other guy. Here, I'm back to my C-clamp. This is huge and hilarious, but so we're just going to we'll go from this side. Stick that right there. And see if I can get a flat-ish spot to push. Maybe. There we go. Oh, gosh, can you see? Every once in a while I'll do something. I'll get done and nobody could see a daggone thing. Anyway, it looks like you can see. So we're just using the C-clamp to push this piston back in. Oh, there it comes. It's slipping off. Open it back up. Play the game. Maybe get a better spot and have it not slip on me. And just till it bottoms out, don't over tighten it. And do the other side. And when I do the other side, if I go too fast, even if I don't, I might make this side push out a little, and I'll have to maybe go back and reclamp that. That's okay if that happens. Not a big deal. I need sometimes a third hand, you know. There. Trying to put pressure on that hose. Okay, that's in, and I don't think it pushed the other side out. Now we're going to put this back. I can get that out of the way. Sometimes you just need to give this a little jiggle back and forth to find the hole. Or sometimes my hat's in the way. You just got to yell at me, "Hey, your hat's in the way." I don't like to use the ratcheting end to actually tighten stuff down, so I'm going to get it snug. And then if I felt like I needed a boxed end, I'd go get one of my non-ratcheting wrenches for its boxed end. But these weren't like He-Man'd on. I was able to get them off with the open end, so I figure I can put them back on that way. And I don't need to He-Man it. That's enough. That's enough. All right, so that's back on. Now we're going to go ahead and we need to put some of that wonderful brake grease on here. And you might get a little on the rotor here, but that's okay. I'm going to throw a little grease there, a little grease there, a little up here, and clean this gunk off. I don't want to put gunk back in the grease container here, and a little up here. I should have, I did on the other side, put some on there before I put it in. Now I'm going to get more on the rotor, but here, I'll show you in a second. That's no big deal. We can deal with that. Okay. All right. I'm getting carried away here. And again, I don't want to put junk in there. That brake cleaner didn't get it all off. That's okay. Oh, and then on the sides, where it's going to slide in and out. Wait, no, I'm going to slide it in, and it'll go this way. But yeah, put a little there. And just slide it in. Like so. Grab the other one, do the same thing. Lube up the sides just a little. Probably more than I need. Head of the rotor. Slide it. That side needed a little persuasion. And if it does, just the minimum. There. And your holes should line up for the pins to go through. So I've got all of my lubing done. And I can always go like this and just, wipe that off. At least from this side. And can I get to this? Yeah. I could bring it over here where I can get my finger in there a little bit and just get most of it off. That's fine. I don't know where my rag went. And then I've got this little clip guy. And it goes like this in there. And these tabs here and here are going to apply outward pressure on the pads to get them to stop applying pressure onto your rotor. So you apply the brakes, they clamp on. When you let go, that spring kind of pushes back out so you're not dragging your brakes. So this is going to go right here. Got our brand new shiny pins. And you're going to go right over that end. And right over this end. Okay. You grab my rag. Oh, my back, my knees. Okay. You're just giving it a tap. Make sure you're lined up. Make sure it's going to come through. If I do it right. Yeah, just hurt myself here again. All day long. I'm here all day just trying to get hurt. I think I got a better angle again. Let's make that happen. Oh, and I used this. Yeah, to extend out so I didn't hurt myself with my thumb or whatever. See, because now I can feed it behind the brake line too. There you go. You can see it come through. All right. Same thing down here. Make sure you're lined up. And should be about flush. Just poking out this side. And on this side, those expand out as you drive them in. So now we just have to make sure this is like adjusted properly. So I just used my little, see if this works for me again. I don't know. There. So you get them kind of equalized. There. So right here, because of the angle that they're at, that one's pushing that way, this one's pushing this way. That's it. that's it. Super awesome, complicated. No, not really. Okay. Everything on all four wheels as far as brakes is done now, except what is going to be like really the main thing this car needed. And obviously it needed rear pads really bad. And the fronts, you know, they could have used the new brakes too. But it needs to be bled out. So on all four corners, I'm going to take these little caps off, your bleeder valve, sure. I already have that corner off. And what we're going to do is just bleed all the brakes. I'm going to show you on the front, since I already have my hose hooked up there. It's always nice, like satisfying putting new parts on old cars. All right, I'm going to go get a camera lady or assistant. They're not going to run the camera for me today, but this tripod's doing all that work. Whew. Need somebody to push the pedal. All right, so I've got this formerly clear all the way line, and it's starting to get a little, you can't see at the end. I'll need a new one. But you can see the brake fluid, and when the bubbles stop, you've gotten all the air out. So I think that was a number 9. So she's going to, when I tell her to, she's going to press. I'm going to open that. What? She's going to press slowly down on the brake pedal. I'm going to open the valve, and I'm going to say, push, slow, all the way down. Tell me when you get to the bottom. So there's a bubble right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit faster. So there's a bubble there. Tell me when you get to the close to the bottom. Yeah, yes, I need you to push slowly. There she goes. I thought she was going already. I thought I did. Tell me when you get close to the bottom. All right, you can let off. Tell me when it's all the way up. And I'm going to open it and tell her to go again. Start pushing. Tell me when you get all the way at the bottom. And I'm watching for what? And I'm watching for bubbles. And I only saw a couple tiny ones. So I feel pretty good about this one. We're going to go ahead and move to the other side. So we're going to do that all the way around until no more bubbles. And as we're doing that, we got to make sure there's brake fluid in it, or more air is just going to go right into the system. That's it, guys. That's the brake job. I'll maybe show throwing 1 or 2 of the wheels on, and that'll be it. All right, well, we finished bleeding all the way around, and this had been at the top full, you know, after we pushed those pistons back in, it was full, and maybe even a smidge over full. And now it's basically right in between max and minimum. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up to close to max. Maybe not quite. Little room for thermal expansion, but this stuff shouldn't. Brake fluid's designed not to do that. But that way, as these wear down, it just slowly drops. But I check that. I glance at the brake reservoir every time, you know, pretty much every time I do an oil change, right? So you're checking all your fluids. So we're good there. Let's get, I'll just throw 1 tire on. You can watch me put 1 tire on, but I'm not going to show you all the tire. Good grief, you know? Video's already going to be a million years long, right? Should be, probably. Well, I like these tires. The wheel tire from the 90s. They didn't feel the need to have 2 foot wide tread. This is fine. It's not a performance car. It's kind of like a luxury economy car when you think about the mileage this thing's going to get. Again, first try we got 35. I'm not expecting that every time, but yeah. Oops. Nope. Bleeder cap. I got the other 3. All right. Yeah, we're good to go. This is weird though. I'm not lifting up and putting on lugs. I'm just sliding it over the hub. Very, very different from, what I'm used to. It's strange for me. I don't know where I am. Am I close to one? There's one. And stay. Wasn't prepared. I need to go get my impact. My back doesn't hurt at all, really. Knees are fine. So I am using an impact wrench. I know. You just got to be careful you're putting it in straight. Apply very minimal. You're just barely going with the gun. Get it snug. You don't go nuts. You get it till it hits and you're good. Once I lower it, I'll get the torque wrench. I got this big old torque wrench. I'll look up the torque spec and I don't know, 90 foot-pounds or whatever it is. Am I done yet? All right, got my giant torque wrench. Yeah, adapter to get down to the 1/2-inch set I have, and 81 foot-pounds. It would help if I lowered it first, right? Better. Down we go. Oh. So I'm going to immediately, we still got a little bit of daylight. I'm going to immediately see how the brakes feel. Hopefully they feel amazing. And with that and the oil change and the transmission fluid, I'll put a smidge back in. I let out a little bit. I think this thing's ready to take down to the sheriff and have them, because it's an out-of-state vehicle, they'll have to do their inspection, and before my firstborn will be able to put her name on all the paperwork and do all those things. So just barely inside of the tires is what we want. Kind of a gap down the middle for that exhaust. And then we should be fine. That's good to know for future reference. We won't have to put it from the outside. We could drive over it. We just got to be careful. Getting late. You make mistakes when you're tired. I'm going to let it run. Click. Take a pick. Star pattern. I'm just going to back the whole way out. Not really a place to turn around right now. Let's see. Lights. Slow. Easy. All right. Am I going to be able to turn this enough? Oh, yeah. Still a little rough just idling backwards, but not as bad as it was. You can hear that it smooths out real nice once you're on the accelerator a little bit. On the diesel pedal, well, I better put my seatbelt on. Okay. Brakes. Wow, we've got brakes. Y'all, we have brakes. Look. Like, nice. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Hold down the fort. No dash lights. Okay, I don't know if the mic turned back on, but we made it. Just a short run, mile down the road and back. I gotta clean up. See you around next time. I don't know what I'm doing next. We'll see. I got work to do everywhere.